No priority of course kulwanyisa corruption. Ekizibu ekisinze okuzingamya revenue collection bw'ogattako tewaliisa enkuŋŋaanya y'emisolo naye n'ensaasaanya yaagyo. Ogenda ne weesanga nti ssente ezikuŋŋaanyibwa mu bantu bafe ate ng'emisolo bagisasula era gibanyigiriza naye ssente ezikuŋŋaanyibwa mu bantu bannaffe bagaana ozideclaringa mu bujjuvu bwazo oba okuzanjulayo mu fandi ey'awamu gye zirina okudda. Kati ne weesanga nti singa division oba district oba ekibuga kikuŋŋaanyibwa buwumbi kangeze 5 naye ne kyogerayo obukadde 100, jjukira 50% ku ssente ezo zirina ate okuddayo wansi mu miruka ne mu divisions mpaka ne ku byalo. Kati Munnayuganda alina okutegeerera ddala nti oli bw'abba ssente ezo abbidde ddala mu nsawo ye oba kyawukanako n'okubbira ku central government naye oli bw'abba ezo z'ez'amadistrict ne cities ne divisions aba abbidde ddala mu nsawo ya Munnayuganda. Mwawulira pulezidenti w'eggwanga ng'agamba nti ekimala kimala tuwadde abantu oba gavumenti ewadde abantu obukadde 800 mu buli parish. Naye njagala otambule mu parish tandikira ku yiyo gy'obeeramu onoonye abanaku abaweereddwa obukadde 800. Tugenda kutomera ekijinji nga tusaba abantu bazze ssente nga be tusaba okuzza ssente ate si be baazirya. Kuba otuuka mu byalo ng'omuntu gwe baawula kakadde ka parish model ate waliwo awo abaamutetenkanya ne bamuggyako emitwalo 60. Kyokka nga tusuubira nti yali alina okukafuna obwo obulwadde bumu. Kakati ne tubeerawo ne extension workers nti extension worker owa agriculture tatuuse, extension worker ow'ebyobulamu tatuuse. Kati ono gwe wawa akakadde oluusi ne bw'aba tebaakamubbako tafunye amuyambako kukakozesa. Kyokka ate n'eno waggulu ssente ezikuŋŋaanyiziddwa bano abeesobolako nti ow'amaduuka asasudde layisensi ye, owa saaluuni asasudde, property tax basasudde, ennyumba ezitasasudde musolo mwalaba wano nga bazimenye. Naye ate n'ezo ezifuddeyo ne zisasula ogenda ne weesanga nga ssente ezo tegeera nti kulina okuvaako ezimu ne ziddayo ne zitereeza enguudo ne zitereeza enzizi ne zitereeza amasomero nga nazo nga nazo zibbiddwa, nga ssente ezo nazo zibbiddwa. So ne weesanga nti the elephant in the room, ekizibu kyennyini ekituufu tekyali badde musolo kuba abantu baguwa, ate tezaali badde ssente kuba gavumenti ezirina era ezifulumye, wabula abazibba. Tulina okukirwanako nga tetwetiiriridde, tuwulirayo abaweddemu amaanyi. Kikaakati Honorable Balamu ne Honorable Nameere olwo bagenda kukola ki ekibadde kitakolwa? Buli mulembe n'ogwabyo. Ate enkulembera ya President Museveni ya piecemeal, buli kisanja abaako kyataddeko amaanyi. Yasookera mu byakulwanyisa siriimu, poliyo, kulwana ku woman empowerment, kulwana ku bantu bangi kuyingira mu money economy. Kati kino kyo kyakulwanyisa nguzi kuba yategeera nti effort ziri zonna zazaateekamu ekizze kiziziŋŋamya y'enguzi. So tubeere aweya nga Bannayuganda nti ekiriwo kyakulaba nti tutereeza obuweereza. Waliwo ebitundu ebikoze obulungi nga Ggulu, olaba nti ne Masaka bwe natandika okuba enduulu ku babbi kati waliwo improvement mu kukwata ssente ezo n'okuzizzaayo wansi gye zirina okudda. So ebitundu gye biri ebigenze bikyukako. Nawuliddeko nti ababbi abamu kati baatandise bali mu panic okuva Honorable Balamu yavuddeyo ng'alinako bwakoonako bwayogerako nange nga bwenkasukayo. Nawuliddeko waliwo be baakatuwayo example nga 7 ababbi abazizzaayo ssente ku akawunti za local governments. Ekyo tukyaniriza kuba nabasaba mulokoke n'abalala mukomyewo, mwanguye okukuŋŋaanya ssente ze mwali mwabba, mangu muzizzeeyo tusobole ate okutandika emirimu, ssente zigende ziyamba abantu. Nja kusaba bammemba ba Parliament nabo bongeremu amaanyi mu bwakalondoozi. Tetuyinza kukola ffekka, ba whistleblower mube bagumu. Era essimu zaffe ne Honorable Minister Balamu zijjudde obubaka obuva mu ba whistleblower. Ba whistleblower ke baategedde tebalina ba minisita abatatya kwogera ku nguzi. Kati baavuddeyo bangi batubuulidde ebintu bingi ebikankana ebinene, naye tumanyi nti ku kisa kya Katonda ne goodwill y'aba bonna aba mwoyo gwa ggwanga abaagala okulaba nti eggwanga litambula mu bwesimbo, tujja kusobola okunogera ekize ky'okulya enguzi oba ky'okulya ssente z'omwe w'omusolo eddagala. Nze ŋŋamba nnyo abantu nti bannaffe abamu apaatimenti bazizimbye naye bw'ova ku mwaliriro ogwokusatu n'okwambuka nkalu akeddi muzizimbye nammwe mukimanyi wa journalists mu Kampala wano ebizimbe bijjudde wansi first floor second kubanga ate abaali bipangisiza baavu enguzi ebaavuwaza. So ekikulu kya byonna nze nga left winger nga socialist nja kwongera okubira abantu omulanga okuyaayana kube kutono buli ali mu ofiisi gy'otuddemu. Buli wooteekawo enabling environment buli omu n'akola. Ffenna tufunamu bottom up. Naye buli lwobba oba ku borrowed time ekisooka ogenda kwavuwaza abaalisuze mu wooteeriyo gy'ozimbye ku bubbi oba ebizimbe byo before you know ng'era bikulemeredde ng'era tuzzeeyo ku zero. N'olw'ensonga eyo ffe tuzze kutereeza neebaza nnyo pulezidenti w'eggwanga okundabamu omugaso okunteekateeka kubanga sitandise kukolagana naye eggulu okuviira ddala ku university ndi mu NRM University chapter nengenda mu youth mobilization nenesimbawo mbwa youth MP president gye yanzija n'anfuula eyali akulira youth mobilization mu kalulu ke aka 2021 mu Greater Masaka nenfuuka senior presidential advisor nannonda era ne ku mulundi guno n'addamu nanneesiga so ebbanga ddene mbadde mu mikono gye sijja kumuswaza naye mumuwulira nga kyeyogerera nti Nameere ayina amazima ngalina era nja gayimirirako oluusi gakaawa mu kigumire. I know some people are overwhelmed by Nameere Justine Nsubuga Maminto wa Papito because she's able to tell you the truth, both the sweet and the bitter truth, but you will get used, don't worry. Era olaba yabagamba oyo azze ne energy nnyingi oyo ayina mulira gwata namanyiira gwakyali mu kyekango but get used. Ojja kutuuka okimanyiire nti nga yewaaliwo ba Honorable Matembe nga yewaaliwo ba Maama Mabira nga bwe baaliwo abalala bonna kati ne Nameere waali azze kulwana kulaba nga eggwanga litambulira mu ngeri etatutwala mu kinnya wabula etutwala mu kkuba edduŋŋamu ery'okuzimba eggwanga ery'enjawulo. Era kikyamu omuntu yenna okugamba nti trade order ate kuba parish model. Nabagambye dda gap weeva bano abalala abalina okuyambako oli afunye ssente eza parish model be batakoze mulimu gwabwe. Community development officers, CFO, extension worker, market master bonna baba balina okuyambako naafunye eza parish model, parish chief, basako leaders okumubuulira nti ssente awo w'oyagala okuziteeka ogenda kutandikawo akaduuka oba ka container oba ogenda kubeera mu kakuubo wootakkirizibwa ate bajje bakwonoonera ebintu oluusi olemu okusasula ssente. So mu kuzigaba ffe nga ministry ya local government ate tulina okwongera amaanyi mu kugugumbula na bano abalala abeebase. Some people are sleeping on job. Olabanga abatalina nnyo gap bwe batakola talina nnyo kyekosa naye ekosa kinene. Bw'owa omulimi ono ssente oba zaakulunda oba zaakulima ate extension worker ne yeebaka ayina okumusupervising oba production officer oba agriculture officer era kiyina bwe kikosa oli tajja kukola kimala kulaba nti ayozesamu mangu ssente ezo asobole okuzisasula. So ekyo kivuddemu kuba nti bannaffe abamu baafuna ssente bambi ate ne baziteeka oluusi bintu nga babikoze ewatakkirizibwa kati ne bafuna obuzibu naye tekijjaako kuba nti bannayuganda era gurupu ezo tujja kgenda nazo tuzirondoola tulabe gye ziri tulabe ate nabo bwe tusobola okubayamba back on their feet baddewo bakole basobole okuzza ssente. Tulina okutunuulira ensonga zonna mu butuufu bwazo. Today the vetting went so well. I thank the members of parliament led by the Right Honourable Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. I thank them. It was a very enlightening interaction. Yes. And I'm very happy. There was a lot of advice and a lot of questions and a lot of humor. Yes.
What are we looking at in terms of priorities?
My priorities among priorities is really to have government programs alive. It is very wrong if Ugandans keep hearing about the parish model, about regional hospitals, about money for Emyoga, about GROW, about money for restaurant owners, about border circles. But when they can't see it, they hear it, they see it on paper, but they can't actually see it. So my priority is to help the country, help the ministry, work with the minister and the technical wing, and even the parliament to make sure we have government programs that actually work, that are actually alive and seen. You should be able to go back to your parish and actually tell a difference that, okay, there is a bigger spending power. There is more people working. There are more women in business. There are more people in commercial agriculture. The result must be seen. That's what we are trying to, that's what my priority among priorities is. Of course, the elephant in the room is corruption. The revenues at the cities and the districts and the divisions are being underdeclared. A city that is collecting 1.7 billion, a town clerk will tell you, an errant town clerk, not all of them, an errant town clerk will tell you they are collecting, say, 20 million. That is a huge leakage. So you find that part of that money is supposed to go back, is supposed to be shared according to the laws, like property tax and also the laws on local governance, the Local Government Act. That money is supposed to be shared. I think it's section 88. That money is supposed to be shared accordingly. 50% is supposed to go to the district level. 50% is supposed to go to the divisions. 25% is supposed to go back to the LC1s. That money is not going back. That's why you're driving around and all the feeder roads are terrible. Yet government has put in place tractors or excavators that can actually, or road equipment. So if that money is trickled down back to the villages and the parishes, it can simply fuel those road maintenance machines and all the roads are maintained. That's why you're looking at your hospitals, the health centers, and they look like what they look like. So all we have to do is make sure government programs are alive, and the supervisory role really must be buttressed. The supervisory role of the local government ministry must be buttressed, because at times the Ministry of Health or the Ministry of Water, they are overwhelmed. Workers or extension workers attached to those ministries are sent to work in the local governments. Somebody is sent to work in Masaka, in Kasese, they appear in the area for 1 day in a week and run away. And they claim they are protected because they are permanent and pensionable. So the Ministry of Local Government should also enhance and buttress the supervisory role. And I know that with my minister, my senior minister, who is also a man of the field, I'm always seeing him in the field. He even came for barazas in the entire Greater Masaka. I was with him, even the one of the baraza of Wakiso. So I know that with his commitment to field work and also his zero tolerance to corruption, coupled with the president's guidance and some patriotic members of the technical wing, we shall be able to do a good job. The biggest enemy we have is corruption. And I'm happy that whistleblowers are now blowing our phones. Me and Honorable Balam, we are receiving a lot of feedback and messages from whistleblowers. That means they feel like they have somebody that's going to hear them out, and they are protected. Keep giving us as much information as you can. I also have some good observations, like in Gulu, there's a huge improvement. There are districts that are really trying to do a patriotic job, but in most areas, we have a lot of errant officers in local government. That has got to stop. Let us be patriotic. Let us think about Uganda first. Let us build a country that is fair for us all, because some people are more focused on putting up apartments on stolen money and hotels. But sometimes you actually look for people to rent them out and there's nobody, because you're impoverishing people using the same corruption. So anything you acquire out of corruption is really operating on borrowed time. Me as a left-winger and as a socialist, my matrix is simple. Just have a fair country for everybody at their level. Let the rich people do what they can do in the international hospitals and international schools for their children. Let the middle class afford their middle class life. But let the Montua ones also be able to have basic amenities by government that are functional from hospitals to roads to public schools to markets. There's no reason why government should put up a huge market, have the president come in and launch it, and then the next day mafias take over the market and also release it. They also become brokers in the supply chain, in the economic chain of the market system. So these are the things that we need to put as priorities, and that's what I'm going to focus on. I promise Ugandans that we're going to be more hardworking. We're going to do a good job. I know some people, there are some naysayers who claim, oh, but you see, what is it that you're going to do different? This has been happening for how many years? No. President Museveni's way of doing things is piecemeal, gradual. In the past, he's been battling things that we all know, where he's been successful. He has fought HIV/AIDS. He has been able to embark on women emancipation. You know, he goes petit a petit every other term. For the last 5 years, he has been focused on having as more households into the money economy. So for this term, he realized, okay, what is it that's affecting all those efforts? It's corruption. So we're going to work on this. You cannot pay a blind eye to corruption, especially in local government. So I know that with the help of our minister, the senior minister, and also, like I said, the patriotic technical people, we shall do a much better job. So I thank the president for identifying me. I've worked closely with him since my university days, when I was to youth politics, youth mobilization, senior presidential advisor, member of parliament, and now minister designate local government. I thank him.
Parliament, and I interacted with my colleagues very well. Of course, as a person who has been there, their concern was, how am I going to handle the scarcity of houses, especially the affordable houses? And of course, I called upon their support because we budget together. Parliament appropriates funds for every sector, and I requested them that this time around we must consider the issue of housing as very critical, and not only housing but more affordable houses, and also the issue of institutional housing. We talked about the houses, for example, for the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament and his deputy, and the house for the principal judge, even when it is there, it has deteriorated, and the house for the Right Honorable Prime Minister and her deputy or his deputy, because these are key institutional houses, and the one of the principal judge. These offices, they attract a lot of people, a lot of clients, and yet when someone is put into that office, they always have their existing homes, which are designed just for their family members. So when they come to start working on so many people, they need a government house whereby they are convenient and they give their family members freedom to continue surviving and living as a family. Otherwise, they were happy with me. They called me a corruption crusader, something I was happy to hear, because I fight for rights of those who are most vulnerable, and to see that there is transparency and accountability in government.
Munyarwanda era sikyejjusa ndi musajja Munyarwanda ng'Omuganda bw'ali Omuganda, ng'Omunyankole bw'ali Omunyankole. Banyarwanda is one of the tribes in Uganda, so nange ndi one of those tribes. Just simple.
So you're not a national?
No, I'm not a Rwandese. Now, waliwo enjawulo yawula a Rwandese and a Munyarwanda. Munyarwanda, they ask as many questions as possible, and every topic is open to be discussed.
So are you sure that this question of your citizenship might not affect your appointment?
I don't know. I leave that to the members to decide, because they have to choose what they think is right. They have to do their job. For me, I've made my case, and I think it has been sufficient.
Can we make this more simpler? Do you have 2 passports of different countries?
I mean, before I came in here, I definitely had 2 citizenships. That's the Ugandan citizenship and the Canadian citizenship. Like every young person who really aspires to do better, you leave this country and you go to different countries trying to work there, and you get some money, you help your people you left back home, you can help your brothers, your sisters, your parents, and even the friends. So that is me, but so many Ugandans do that. And as I speak right now, there are some who are at the airport leaving the country. Before you know, they will have citizenships of other countries, and but that does not take away one's love for the country. I am Ugandan, and I think even when I live the life we live, God has given me life, but I don't think I'll live permanently. But when I die, I'll also be buried here in Uganda, closer to my parents, who are resting in Seta, Polo, in a village. So that is my ancestral home. But Uganda is my country. I love my country.
Do you have any plans of denouncing the other citizenship?
I mean, who says that can't happen? It's possible. There is no better country than Uganda, right? Yes. Before I became a Canadian, I was Uganda. And I'm proud to be Uganda. And I love my country. So even if I remained with one citizenship and it is Uganda, I'll be very, very proud.
Regarding the message you are giving,